You just want to be as fast as you possibly can, and then the one thing that does work in your favor, though, is you know how their deck works. So you know what's going to hinder them the most, right? You're not worried as much about the matchup itself because you know what you have to do to win. Such as, say, with eels, you've got to just take those eels out because you know how tough it is to actually come back from that. Even though some people sometimes ignore them and go for the heavy attackers for the 2 prizes, if you can take the prizes off their eels first, they're not going to be taking any prizes from you anyways because they can't really do anything at that point.
Do you ever put techs in, like extra cards specifically for matchups? And in this case,
Yep.
will you ever tech for the mirror? And what kind of those?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of things do you look for when you're trying to figure out a tech for a mirror match?
Well, right now the techs for my mirrors with ray eels are my rays, right? That pretty much is from a matchup because they're weak to each other, right? Very much like Mewtwo, it's weak to itself. Rayquazas and other dragon types are weak to themselves as dragon types. When before it was eels without Rayquaza, it was Tracheon. That was definitely a tech that a lot of people used because they would just bring that out in a mirror, and they could easily just catch up your eels after they took a hit from one of their Dynamos, and just knock out pretty much anything on your field.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're starting the second game here. And Mark chooses to go first. He's skylining. He's got 2 Keldeos down. A little bit better start than his first game. At the very least, you're not going to be donked in this matchup. And I think even in Ray Eels, donking is not... Oh, actually, with normal Rayquaza and against a Tynamo is possible.
Because I've won a match like that before.
Yeah. So donking is when you basically bench your opponent, you remove all their Pokemon, which is a win condition, and you do it on the first turn, so the other guy doesn't even get to play. Essentially.
Tropical Beach on turn 1 for Mark here, though, so that's pretty
using
great.
the Skyla, and then he's going to empty out his hand a little bit using Ultra Ball to discard cards. And I think that's actually a French Tropical Beach, or Plage Tropicale.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's going to get those down. And he's going to get some mileage out of that. I think he's going to actually draw 5 cards off that beach, which is nice. Unless he's going to play an energy down, in which case he can draw 6. Just thinking energy retrieval, attach, sure, why not, and draw 6. Nice. Alright, so Ricky's first turn. Top deck's a Keldeo. He's going to attach an energy on that one. Catcher's up, what? A Squirtle, okay.
Yep.
I think... To me, that seems kind of weird, because Keldeo can just rush in, and it's not like Ricky can kill it right away.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. Maybe he's junipering though. I mean, maybe
he may be emptying out his hand for something else. I see an Ultra Ball in his hand. I see more catchers in his hand and energy retrieval, I think.
Maybe he's gonna go for Tropical Beach too, and he just wants to empty it out.
Yeah. And it depends, like, how many cards do you want to empty out, because he has more catchers in his hands. Does he want to get rid of those ones as well?
Yeah, exactly.
He's in a rough spot. It doesn't look like he has that much to play. He's going to drop the Ultra Ball, most likely. He's going to attach an energy. He already attached an energy, actually.
Yeah, and catchers are pretty good in this matchup. I don't think that they're, like, the best card in the entire decks at this point. Like, they often are with things that have Dynamos and things like that, and usually with Squirtles, yes, but with these two being a mirror match, they know they're not really one-shotting the basics before they become Blastoise most of the time anyways. And most of the time with all the Russians, right, they know that catchers are not as valuable as, say, a lot of other cards in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Such as your energies.
Yeah, I mean, energy is really expendable, and you just toss them all out.
Yeah.
It looks like Ricky just beached for a few cards on his turn, and Mark is Ultra Balling for his Blastoise and computer searching for the rare candy. He's down to 1 card. It's a Juniper! Wow! So now he's going to get set up first. He's going to get set up first, so I wonder what he's going to do with the fact that he's set up. And we know from the previous game that he's not really into the whole Mewtwo warring thing, but at this situation, I would say he should go for a Mewtwo war.
Yeah.
Pretty much stand up,
And
rip off his shirt, and say, "Come at me."
Yeah. So, and why would you be promoting the Mewtwo war at this point? Just for the fact that Ricky's obviously not playing a lot down, probably can't get his out very fast because he doesn't have any Squirtles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Mark's
think
gonna
that's
rush in.
because we know he doesn't run DCEs, right? So.
We know for a fact, but I don't think Mark saw every card in Ricky's deck in that first game.
Yeah,
That game ended about halfway, so they only saw about half of each other's deck at that point. But Ricky knows that Mark runs double colorless energy. I think actually, I didn't see his deck list, but I think he only runs one. So, but Ricky doesn't know that.
Yeah. I actually like it when they run one, I think, and you almost want to be mulliganed with it in your hand, so then they start getting like, oh god, it's scary now, right?
Yeah.
But
it's a cute play, a little bit of mind games.
Exactly. I've almost debated doing that in my rails because I do not run Mewtwo. I can one-shot it anyways, and I don't want them to have the chance to turn around and one-shot me. And it wastes the bench space anyways that I need. So I don't run it, but I've debated running a DCE just to freak them out.
Well, and also for your deck, double colors energy acts as a switch as well.
Switch, exactly. So that's why I'm like, maybe that would be an interesting thing to add into my deck.
Alright, so Ricky uses Max Potion, heals all the damage on the Keldeo, and he's going to catcher up another Keldeo. So that's the second catcher he's burned there. And he beaches up again. So he burns essentially two catchers here for no real effect. But he is staying in the game.
Yeah, I guess that was just to get him an extra card. I mean, like I said, I don't think catchers are definitely going to be like the game necessarily like the thing that ends it all here, but I don't know about burning two of them just to get extra cards from Tropical Beach, because what would you really get with that one extra card that you wouldn't have just drawn next turn anyways, right?
So Mark Skylos for the catcher, and he's going to use it to pull up the Squirtle, and he's going to try to remove the engine from Ricky's deck quickly here.
This is pretty much gonna shut down Ricky very fast.
Yeah, and he's got two Blastoise, so he's not scared of anything right now. But again, Mark doesn't like to use the Mewtwo. He's keeping only the Keldeos. And that's partially maybe because he doesn't know if Ricky's running double colorless, so he can't quite pump up one Mewtwo. But it's always an option. He should always just bench one Mewtwo and then pump up one Keldeo, because if a Mewtwo DC kills it, your Mewtwo on the bench can finish it off as well. So Ricky, what are you gonna do, buddy? Gonna level ball?
For a Nuda Squirtle?
Yes. And level ball lets you look for them babies, anything with 90 HP or less, such as a Squirtle. Advertisement.
Oh, on the cup? Oh, yeah.
And why do you think I ripped the label off the jar? It's not like it makes it easier to wash or anything.
Yeah, free cups. Free mugs for life. No, this is like, it's a mug. You can't, like, take the label off of it.
Computer searches here, drops. I know what's going to happen. He's going to drop the catcher. Third catcher gone.
3.
So painful. He picks up the Squirtle with that one.
Yeah.
So now he can't lose his Squirtles. And he has enough energy. He's been manually attaching one after another, one per turn. Enough energies to put 110 on that Keldeo. So now Mark has a difficult choice. I think the correct play would be to kill this Keldeo and bench a Mewtwo. Bench Mewtwo, kill Keldeo. Have energy retrievals in hand. Of course, you can't really plan for that, but Mark has burned quite a few resources as well, but nowhere as near as 3 catchers. But
no. That's what I said. Like, one catcher burning it, okay. I've done it before too. Not a big deal. But burning 3 for really no real effect in the end? Ugh,
and you know, I've been trying to play decks with less catchers. I've been trying to play 3 catchers because I know the Japanese players, their lists are pretty tight, and they've
they can only have 40 cards, right?
No. They play 60 card format as well.
Okay.
But they, like, almost always when they have to cut a card, they will almost cut that 4th catcher almost every single time I've seen. And it's quite interesting. And for me, when I'm playing a setup deck, for example, those catchers early on aren't useful, which is why you see Ricky discarding them. And so I've been trying to play a 3-catcher deck for a while now, and occasionally it works, and occasionally you just really want that 4th catcher.
Yeah.
But then again, that's the same for like the 5th catcher, 6th catcher, and stuff like that too.
Yeah, just run a recycle as your fourth catcher. Be like, come on.
Well,
Get
one of the
whatever
new
I
cards
want.
coming out, Dowsing Machine, is essentially the 5th catcher because pretty much that's all you'll ever use it for.
What is Dowsing Machine do? I haven't seen the new set
Dowsing
cards yet.
Machine coming out. It's going to be, I think it's coming out in the February set.
Yep.
And
The
basically
Plasma
you
Storm one.
discard 2 cards from hand, get any trainer item from your discard back in your hand.
Woo! That's pretty much junk arms.
It's pretty much junk arms,
Is
pretty
it an
much
ace spec?
item finder.
Is it an ace spec?
It's ace spec.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, that's not ace spec. Everyone's having 4.
Yeah, it's ace spec. And I don't know if Scramble Switch is coming out, but Scramble Switch is going to be one of my new favorite cards, I think, as well.
What is that one?
Scramble Switch is switch your Pokemon and move all your energies from your old one to your new one.
Oh, so it's like Machop Primes or Machamp Primes, like tag in or whatever.
Fighting tag, yeah.
Tag and tag, yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like having a Shaman Switch going on, or Warp Energy Shaman kind of thing.
Can you imagine that though with Max Potion and
Yes.
Mewtwo or Keldeo? That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, so a lot of exciting combos coming on in February is making me very happy.
I'm gonna be playing Mewtwo Keldeo, guys.
just a heads up, everybody. Give me all your Keldeos now. All right, so Mark.
Scramble Switch regular item though?
No, it's ace spec.
Oh, I have to choose. That's terrible.
Yeah, we're gonna get more choices because right now people basically choose between Go Potion and Computer Search, and everybody chooses Computer Search.
Yeah,
Right.
but though Gold Potion's pretty good too.
Go Potion is nothing to sneeze at, but it's less versatile.
Yes, exactly.
So Mark has passed his turn. He used a Tropical Beach after rushing in, and Ricky is tossing more cards. Now Ricky's going right back to it, right to the Mewtwo War immediately. Ricky doesn't even have his Blastoise up, but he's like, I'm gonna Ultra Ball for a Mewtwo. Why not?
Yeah. It's definitely going to make Mark 2 have to think a little bit more about exactly what he's going to be playing down, right? Simply because he doesn't have any more bench space for a Mewtwo.
Yeah, he put down that Squirtle, I think, and then played an N, which is he didn't want to get that Squirtle back in his hand because he was looking for stuff. But that does take away his bench space, and Mark is not even though he took a prize. Like I said, that's a half prize, and half prizes round down right now. So they're both technically still 3 KOs away from winning. And Ricky's not really that far behind. He just needs to get a Blastoise. And Ricky is slow revealing the cards in his hand. Trying to
use heart of the cards.
He needed a catcher. Oh, he got Candy Blastoise. He needed a catcher to kill that Keldeo, but he didn't have any more catchers because
he burnt them all.
He burnt 3 of them. He's got 1.
Like I said, it's not going to be like game ending, but it could definitely help him along. Obviously, catchers, again, like you said, nothing to sneeze at in this matchup, but it's tougher when you can just rush in all the time. But I actually don't mind, though, that he's just putting damage in 2 places at once. I think Mark already used a Max Potion, so whether or not he has another one is the question for the Keldeo and the active. If not, then it kind of just opens them up to, even if no matter what he attaches to them, you two can pretty much knock it out without attaching too heavily, or a Keldeo.
Yeah, and that's pretty much Ricky's train of thought here is that, well, if I just put 110 on everything, eventually my Mewtwo's will be able to do stuff.
Yeah. Without attaching so heavily that when you do knock something out, he can just return KO really quickly. Yeah.
But it's going to be a slow, arduous process, and Mark does have a lot of time to buy. He does get up the Mewtwo here. Maybe he has a Scoop Up, but wait, no, he doesn't run one in his deck. Super Scoop Up is very versatile. No. Super Scoop Up is a very versatile card, but it is a coin flip, whether it works or not, and a lot of people are not willing to take that risk.
Like me. I roll flips not so bad.
I'm 50-50 with Super Scoop Up, so I'm quite happy with that. I was very, very bad with Dual Ball before, which was a supposedly better statistical card, but I just couldn't use it.
Yeah.
So Mark goes for that double colorless energy and single water again, reminding Ricky that he has double colorless in his deck, and he's going to put 70 down on the Keldeo, which sets it up for a knockout from anything. So they're trading 2 shots here. They go 1-2 punches. Oh, but Ricky drops the Poké Center, which is the first time he's revealing this to us, because we haven't seen this yet, right?
Right. He runs Poke Center. This is such a revelation.
It's such a, and this is one of those one card techs that we're talking about in the mirror that changes things, because Mark goes, what? I don't have an option to Tropical Beach anymore, and that's gonna, because Ricky can heal that damage, and now that puts Keldeo away from that one-shot range again, unless Mark is willing to invest more energies on his Keldeos that are damaged.
Yeah. The thing is, too, it can also, obviously, he's going to probably, because he probably doesn't have the catcher.
Super scoop up.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
misses the
it.
flip. So that's one of the things. Would have been great.
Exactly. But the thing, too, is that now Mark can heal his benched Keldeos as well. But after this turn, they're probably all going to be damaged, because I don't think Ricky's going to get that other catcher. Oh, or they're going to be KO'd.
So Ricky rushes in, heals, and then rushes back in with the... And he's going to just one-shot things. So he doesn't care if Mark was healing with Poke Center.
He only has 6, though.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough, yeah. Because that does 180, right? Yeah.
170.
170. It does exactly 170.
Exactly 170 to kill the 170 HP Keldeo. So yes, in case the audience is wondering why we were talking about the Poke Center as is something that we haven't seen before, is because we skipped ahead to watch the final match, and then we're coming back to the semifinals match.
Spoiler! Spoiler!
Oh, but
yeah.
Nothing. No, don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah. So there's the max potion and a heal. Ricky wanted to see a catcher. He's gonna want a catcher in the next turns here. What Mark is probably gonna end up.
Well, he's still one-shotting everything, but and
what Mark is probably going to want is a Mewtwo.
There's it.
At this point, yeah, there it is. That's really his comeback for that, just to kill it. But I think he's going to. Oh, he might have to sacrifice it.
Rush in, retreat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about this deck, is that when you want to attack with something that isn't Keldeo, you have to retreat.
Yeah, he needs. Or is there damage on the Keldeo? Oh, there is. Yeah.
There is enough damage.
Yeah, that's enough.
6, 8, 160 damage. So that is enough to kill. He plays Bianca and gets some more cards as well, so it's good for him. But again, because Mark did go after that Squirtle, he's technically right now behind in KOs, because Ricky only needs 2 more, Mark needs 3, so he'll take this one, and if Ricky can return KO, he'll be again ahead.
Yep.
So Ricky's going to push up the Mewtwo. Yep.
Yes.
And the Mewtwo needs 2 more energies on it. One in hand.
Oh, he has 2, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw the other one then.
Does he have an energy retrieval? If he does, then he can just get it the one his Skyla for.
Skyla?
Yeah. So he can look for the energy retrieval that he needs. Make sure that he has. Of course, you have energy in your discard, fool. You just put 6 in there. There it is. Energy retrieval. He can power up the one on the bench as well, and so a Mewtwo response is not good enough. There's another camera skip. Camera skip. He shuffled pretty fast there, inhuman even.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think one of the big things about this match was that Ricky was willing to engage in a Mewtwo war and Mark wasn't. Although I couldn't really fault Mark for choosing to kill the Squirtle early on, because it was a sound play, and unfortunately Ricky was just able to get 2 Squirtles down and prevent any more KOs and gets that Blastoise up.
It was really looking like it was going to go totally Mark's way this game, but yeah, Ricky definitely turned that around pretty quickly.
Yeah, you might say he pulled one out of his sack. You know what I'm talking about, Ricky. I know you're watching.
Yeah. Inside jokes.
Alright, so he pushes up the Squirtle and no Tropical Beach, so he just has to pass his turn. And Ricky is going, well, do I kill the Squirtle or do I try to find my last catcher?
Yeah.
Is there even enough damage? Because it's 80. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's Mark's turn. Never mind. Never mind. Mark needs more energies. Mark needs a lot more energies. But he can't one-shot the Mewtwo, so he's actually in quite a bind. Because if he attaches 6, which is what he needs to kill the Mewtwo, then the Mewtwo on the bench needs only 1 more to kill the Keldeo. But he's going to catch
He
up the
catches.
Blastoise. Okay. He has to take this half price eventually because he is behind. So he's going to end Ricky down to 2 cards. Deja vu?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
People are so confused. We're the worst commentators in the world.
But we're entertaining. That makes us better than not bad. That makes us better than bad.
We're watching intensely here. So Mark puts himself down to 3 cards, puts Ricky down to 2 cards.
Yeah.
And Ricky's not even going to bother looking. I actually like this. When I end or something like that, I don't want to look at my cards. I don't want people to know whether I got good cards or not based on like my expression and stuff. Like if I take 2 prizes, I don't want to look at them, and it makes their decision to end me a little bit harder because they have no idea whether my hand was good or not.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm pretty obvious when I draw cards. I'm like, oh god. Like when I was in the match with Jack, that's pretty much it. I was like, are you kidding me? Like most of the time, I'm like, really? Yeah. But then again, he wasn't drawing well either. So.
Well, you can always bluff too, but some people are really good at
That's what I
reading
told him. I was like, reverse psychology. Like,
alright, so Ricky
like,
replaces his own Poké Center. He's got the beach back down, and he's going to be the first to use it if he chooses to take this turn to use it.
And that was a good play, though, because, like 100%, because if that Keldeo on Mark's bench healed even once more, he can't knock it out with another Keldeo.
That's true.
Or easily with his Mewtwo anymore. So, because that would bring him down to 50 hit points versus the 70 he's at right now, which is just enough, to KO with the 110. If he brings it down, he's actually 10 short with 3 energies.
So Ricky's going to take a look at his deck here using Skyla to search, so he knows exactly what's in there and what's not in there. Probably has an idea what his final 2 prizes are as well. And I don't know exactly. He's going to Skyla for the energy retrieval. Yeah, that's pretty sound.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, just to get that Keldeo working again. Just in case, or even just so he has the energies for a Mewtwo if he needs to go that way too.
Yeah, well, if he puts 2 on the Keldeo, then he has enough energy to retreat back into the Mewtwo's if he needs to, and that's exactly it. He's going to put it there. And I think he's down to 1 card now, so he's rushing in. And I think, he's just going to beach. He just like hit the Keldeo like I care. I got 7 cards in my hand and lots of time.
And the thing is too is that if his opponent does, or if Mark does bring it up, bring up his own Keldeo to hit him, I mean, he's not going to be one-shotting him, and if he does, then Mewtwo's just going to one-shot him right back.
And Mark just played Juniper, and he has 1 card left in his deck. And of course, if you must draw at the start of your turn and you can't draw anymore, then you lose because you got decked out. Which makes Julia very excited.
Yeah.
Julia's favorite deck ever. It was a deck-out deck.
Oh yeah. Durant's for the win. Devour. Just discard 1 card at the top of your opponent's deck for each Durant in play. Love it.
Alright, so he's just going to pump it up.
Yeah.
That's if he catches the Mewtwo, I'm guessing he has a catcher. If he catches the Mewtwo, then Ricky needs a card. Needs a energy to return KO. So it's a pretty big gamble. And Ricky still has about, say, 5-6 cards in his deck. And one of those could be catcher. They probably aren't. His catcher's probably prize at this point. Yeah, I mean, if his catcher wasn't prized, then Ricky... Oh no, Ricky still couldn't retreat. Never mind. Is that Mark's deck? Okay, I thought... Bleh, here you go. Okay, I thought Mark only had 1 card. He has 4 cards left in his deck, so he's got plenty of turns. And Mark is going to pass. Because he's suspecting that Ricky's catcher is prized. So Ricky's taking a look at his hand of 8 here. And he's going to take a look through his discard. Yeah, he's got a double energy retrieval. Yeah, double energy retrieval, puts it all in the Keldeo, catcher in hand. That's the last catcher.
Oh,
so
there it is.
Burns 3 catcher doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
That is the game.
Look at that. That's crazy sauce.
Wow.
That's... Yeah, someone used part of the cards there.
Yeah, good games for both of them, and Ricky moves on to the finals, and Mark gets stuck with, I believe he ended up in 4th place, I think? 4th or 3rd. He got 4th or 3rd place as a result.
No, I think he was the 3rd.
Okay, so he gets 3rd place, so not bad at all, and he also gets to head back home to the island as well. So these are a couple of players that I think we should be expecting to do fairly well at the World Tournament when it comes to Vancouver. Local favorites, as you might call them. And, of course, Julia would be a local favorite as well.
Oh, yeah, that's the plan. But, I just double-checked here. Mark actually did get 4th. David came in 3rd. So.
Okay, so Finelli gets the 3rd. And,
that was my rate eel deck.
Yeah.
Get rate eels.
Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. And, of course, the contest for most complimentary comment for Julia isn't over at this point because, well, especially at this point since we were recording all these videos at once.
Yeah, and technically if they have watched this one before the last one, they don't know.
Yeah, so anyways, we'll pick a winner at once the final video, but we'll be looking at all the comments, and so do keep them coming, and keep them nice and clean, of course. Alright, that's it. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.